Whoa, wait, is this the inside of the ship? I keep forgetting about how magnificent this Pantagruel really is. Really, guys? You really couldn't flex it on anything else? It had to be the fanciest piece of shit imaginable? Well, Rean, at least you have to admit one thing. It's comfy.
All that's left to be done is end this ridiculous war and return order to the Empire.
And you fail to explain how.
Only then will everything be as it should. That includes both your pleasant academy life and the peaceful days of darling Elise and her friend the princess.
I suggest you consider carefully the choice before you. After all, every soldier must decide for himself whether a cause is worth fighting, perhaps even dying for. I look forward to hearing your answer.
It's hard to argue that this war began because the noble faction went too far. But the longer it goes on, the more people are going to suffer. Am I really okay with that? If I join them, I could reduce the number of victims, be friends with Crow again, free Elise and Princess Elfin. No, this isn't that simple. Think, Rean, think. I was able to reunite with the others, but Elise and Princess Elfin are still in the Alliance's custody. What's the best thing I can do? This isn't just about me. What do all of us want to do?
Keep racking your brain like that and smoke will start coming out of your ears.
Oh, ha ha, Crow. Hi, handsome. Yeah, you forgot to knock, Sherlock.
What do you want?
Hey now, no need to give me that look. I figured I was gonna find you busy thinking everything over like your life depended on it. And what do you know? I was right.
How about you mind your own damn business?
Whoa, Rean! Hostile, hostile!
Don't you have better things to do with your time? I figured the glorious Azure Chevalier would be far too busy with the war to be hanging out around here.
It's tough being popular. If you joined us, I could get away with doing half the work I am now.
Oh, you would just love that, wouldn't you?
So come on, stop freaking out about it so much and make a choice.
This isn't something I can just decide by flipping a coin, Crow. And besides, it'd probably be an easier choice if not for a certain someone. What's that in your hand, anyway?
Dinner! Don't do drugs.
Grub, of course. Kinda early, but I brought you your lunch. Mind if I join you?
Not at all handsome. Hello, Selby. Shit, bro, that looks so good. I want some.
Hamburgers, fries, and onion rings, huh?
Oh, that looks so good.
I was expecting something more fancy like I had last night.
Oh, that kind of food more your thing?
He might be to you, but he's sexy as hell for me.
Okay then, give me a minute while I go ask the chef to whip something up.
Yo, whoa, no, Crow, this is fantastic, 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 fantastic.
No, this is fine.
He's got a magnificent personality.
The burger looks delicious.
The whole damn thing looks so good.
Cool. All right, dig in.
I'd love to. I want some!
This tastes kinda different from a normal burger. Oh, no wonder. It's got whitefish in it.
Yeah, they're called fish burgers. Pretty good, right?
Yeah, the tartar sauce makes for an unusual extra flavoring too. This tastes amazing.
Screw you, Reed. I want some!
I like this way more than the food I had last night, to be honest.
Well, glad to hear it. Guess it was worth putting my cooking skills to the test after all.
Wait, you made this?
Was my first time cooking in a while, too. Sharon could probably do better, though.
Yeah, well, that's Sharon.
But I wanted to give it a shot anyway. This stuff was like soul food back in Dry, where I grew up.
Oh,
To think, all the time we spent searching for the leader of the Imperial Liberation Front, and he was right under our noses. Crow Armbrust from the Jirai SEZ.
Oh, yeah. Vita was using some weird thing of hers to let you see what was going on, wasn't she?
Yeah.
So I guess you saw what happened there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jirai was that special economic zone in the Northwest you guys went to during our August field study, too.
We didn't run into anything like that in the Jirai Special Economic Zone, though I guess that makes sense seeing as it's under the direct control of the Imperial government and not a noble.
I seem to recall that it was annexed 8 years ago. Is that right?
Yeah, the Empire stitched it on nice and neat without much opposition. Now it's prospering as a special economic zone on the coast. Seems like a lively place.
So you ended up going back to your old hometown then?
Yeah, by pure coincidence. It's changed a lot since I was last there, so it was kind of surreal being back again.
A good kind, right, Crow?
But it was nostalgic in its own way, too.
It's been bugging me for a long time now. What could have made you want to join a group of terrorists like the Imperial Liberation Front? What was it that made you hate Chancellor Osborne that much? Enough to take his life? Oh. Tell me, Crow, please. I want to know what it was that made you who you are now.
It's nothing good, that's for sure.
What kind of place Jirai was, how you lived there, and what you were doing before you entered the academy and met Toa, Angelica, and George.
Having parties!
Where's the fun in prying into a guy's past?
Cause I'd want to know more about you?
Save all that talk for your number one in class.
Who says you're not?
Who's the lucky girl anyway? Elisa, Laura, Emma, Fee?
Crow?
And don't tell me it's Milliam, because, you know, it...
No, bro, hold up, no!
I'm serious, Crow. I really want to know. Think of telling me your past as paying off the interest you owe on that 50 Mira. Because until I know, until we know, we won't be able to move forward.
I don't think it matters.
You're really serious.
You don't think he was? Crow, really, bro?
Crow?
Ah, we gotta get all anime-like, eh?
My past really isn't that big of a deal, you know. It's got nothing on yours, that's for sure. If you find yourself thinking that's all when I'm done, well, I warned you. So, you really want to know?
Yes.
Yeah. Nothing you say will change my mind. Please, tell me.
All right, you win. Like I said, it's just your run-of-the-mill sob story. Pick up any history textbook and you'll probably find a dozen others just like it. It's the kind of story that's so common no one bothers to remember it, like it never even happened.
I'll remember.
Back in those days, Jirai was known as Jirai City. It was a city-state off the coast of northwest Ymir that prospered through maritime trade with West Erebonia, Northumbria, and Remiferia. It had a population of around 150,000 people, so it wasn't exactly a big place or anything. Because of that, the surrounding nations left it alone and let us live out our days in peace. Until about 20 years ago. That was when the Northumbrian disaster struck, and much of the Principality of Northumbria was turned to salt. And as a result, trade on the northwest shore was reduced to virtually nothing.
For those curious, I think the whole salt disaster, I don't know if that's in another game. So, just a fair warning.
Day after day, Jirai's prosperity started to fade away. Still, it wasn't all bad. We had our fishing, our historic landmarks, our septium mines. We could make use of those to get trade going again, both to keep our state running and to help out Northumbria. In fact, the one who advocated that approach was the mayor, my grandfather. He was the last mayor Jirai City ever had.
Oh, he's adorable! Look at little Crow. I just want to pinch his cheeks. He's so cute.
He was a stubborn old bastard, but he had this wry sense of humor and was well loved by everyone. I lost my mom and dad early, so he was also my only living relative. He taught me just about everything a guy could know. He was like a mom, dad, and your old master rolled into one, I guess. Anyway, fast forward to 10 years ago. Out of nowhere, we received this proposal from the Erebonian government. They said they wanted to extend a railway line from Heimdall all the way to Jirai. We relied on the sea for trade before, but there wasn't any reason to believe we couldn't benefit from being connected to Heimdall by rail. The proposal drew overwhelming support from the city's council, and as a result, my grandfather was forced to accept. Within a year, the city had all of its old life back and then some. The streets were more bustling than ever. But keep in mind, this was a result of huge amounts of imperial capital flowing into the city. Land and buildings we once treasured were bought up left and right. Everything became a target for investment. People only cared about making money. Something similar supposedly happened in Crossbell too, but unlike there, no opposition existed in Jirai. My grandfather sensed something was off, and he tried what he could to get the situation under control. Then one day, someone blew up the railway line leading to Jirai. Everyone demanded that it be repaired as quickly as possible. Everyone except the imperial government. Instead, they panned our national security arrangements for being insufficient and threatened to withdraw all imperial capital. The city was left in an uproar like we'd never seen. Shares plummeted, and with no one able to ascertain the culprit's identity, chaos reigned. That was when he showed up. Chancellor Gileath Osborne, in his third year as representative of the imperial government, personally came to Jirai. We then received a second proposal.
The restoration of the railway and its future security will be seen to by the Imperial Army. In return for our continued assistance in safekeeping, Jirai will come under the wing of our glorious empire and attain even greater prosperity as a special economic zone.
The timing was too good to be true, really. Realizing this, my grandfather staunchly opposed the idea. He tried everything he could to convince the city's council to reject the offer. Unfortunately, once you taste the sweet fruit of prosperity, it's hard to want to go back. The council, made up of influential merchants and all their greed, jumped at the offer. And tempted by the elimination of customs, together with the tax breaks from being an SEZ, many of the citizens did too. And during all that, they'd conveniently found a suspect behind the railway incident. My grandfather. He loved Jirai more than anyone, and up till then, its people loved him too. And yet, virtually overnight, he found himself facing the wrath of both the city's council and the citizens alike. Left with no choice, he resigned from his position as mayor, and Jirai formally became part of the empire. Both of these things happened on the same exact day. That was 8 years ago. Naturally, everyone knew my grandfather wasn't the one who did it. They knew who was really responsible. They just turned a blind eye to the truth. See? I warned you. Just your run-of-the-mill sob story.
I don't know what to say, Crow.
Doesn't make it any
What
less...
happened to him after that? Your grandfather.
It doesn't make it any less heart-wrenching, that's for sure.
One day, he just up and died. Once he resigned, the whole affair with the railway getting blown up was all but forgotten. He lived comfortably in retirement for about half a year, fell ill, and that was that. He just lost the will to go on, I guess. Like I said, he was the only family I had. I mean, I had plenty of friends even then, but I chose to leave it all behind. I was 13 at the time. I wandered the land, doing whatever I had to get by. That was when I met old Cayenne, who happily indulged my hatred for the Chancellor. And with his financial backing, I went out with the goal to find others who were just like me. That was the beginning of the Imperial Liberation Front. Gideon, Scarlet, and Vulcan were among those I recruited. I'd also met Vita then. I only knew her as the woman who would often come to see Cayenne. She guided me to a place below the city of Ordis, and there slept the Azure Knight Ordine. One after another, I overcame the same trials you did with your friends, but alone. And once I'd proven myself worthy, Ordine accepted me as his awakener. That was 3 years ago. I was 16. My preparations complete, I concealed my background and enrolled in a military academy near the capital. Everything I did for the sole purpose of taking the Chancellor's head. Come on now, what's with the face?
It's so sad.
You look sadder about all this than I do.
'Cause you've come to accept it.
Yeah, I guess.
I swear. I'm not trying to tell you the Chancellor was evil or anything.
What?
Huh? But you... What?
Still, there's no denying that he managed to outwit my grandfather. And he may have lost, but Pop's always loved a good gamble. It's thanks to him that I'm pretty good at chess, card games, that kind of stuff.
Ah, so that's who I can blame for your addiction.
I'd say it's fairly normal for a student to want to avenge his master's defeat, wouldn't you?
Maybe.
At the end of the day, there's no denying this country has problems, and the Chancellor's methods were making them worse. I studied those problems, worked out how to use the situation to my advantage, and then won the game with an all-or-nothing gamble. But when you think of how peaceful Jirai is now, I'd say I've got a duty to clear up the mess left behind by my game too, which means ending this war and restoring peace. So it's only when that's done that my game is truly over. I don't want whatever your decision is to be influenced by my past.
Why'd you... No, Patty.
Like Rufus said, you need to think long and hard about what it is you're fighting for. For you, more than anyone else.
Yeah, but Crow...
Anyway, I think I've stuck around here for long enough.
Did you people not have any of the onion rings or the french fries? 'Cause I still see a plate full. Did neither one of you drink either?
You're gonna be treated as a visitor. Well, sort of.
Sort
It's
of.
about time for the higher-ups to head back to Heimdall, so go ahead and pass the time however you want.
Oh yeah, I'll be having a hell of a time.
However I want. What else can I even do here?
Besides go crazy? What? Where the fuck you idiots going?
There'll be no guards outside your room, so if you want to try and escape, be my guest.
You're practically encouraging that, Crow.
Just keep in mind that some members of Ouroboros and Zephyr are on board too. Not to mention me, Scarlet, and Vulcan.
Ah, is that a challenge, Crow?
So if you're up for a gamble of your own, get ready to take all of us on.
Don't think I don't see the smirk. You want it.
Sounds fun.
Oh yeah, one more thing. There's this real cute visitor in the guest of honor's room on the second floor. I think she'd perk right up if she saw you, so why not go pay her a visit?
I'll do
Just
that.
don't go making your girl jealous, okay?
I don't have to. My girl's in front of me. Bye!
I wonder who he means. He said she's in the guest of honor's room. Well, I can't waste much time here. I told everyone I'd definitely come back soon. Right now, I need to gather as much information as I can. I can make my choice after that. At least then, it'll be an informed one.
And informed it will be. Alright. So, now we know why Crow is the way he is. His grandpa, unfortunately,
Right.
faced a rather upsetting fate. And being the only family member he had, Crow reacted in the only way he knew best. It's upsetting.
I can sense someone inside.
Ugh. It's upsetting, but now we know why he's turned to terrorism to solve his problems.
Huh? It's open. Come on in.
Who the hell?
That sounds like...
Vulcan?
Excuse me.
I think. Or is it Zeno? Or Leo? Vulcan! Hey, buddy.
Oh, it's you. You finished talking with C?
Yee.
His name's Crow, not C.
They've known him as C, Rean.
And he's never going to be anything else for me.
Oh, I know his real name.
You just choose not to use it.
But to us, he's always gonna be C. That's our leader. You might be young, but each and every one of us look up to him and respect him. Anyway, take a seat.
I'm not gonna, like, trick me into getting bombed, are you?
Got a whole lot of questions, I bet.
That and more.
Does you asking that mean you're willing to answer them?
Depends on the questions.
Just out of curiosity, how many members does the Imperial Liberation Front have left? I know the explosion back in the mine was staged, obviously.
Sure was. Anyway, 10, give or take.
Real? What? Only 10 left?
We lost most of our members as soon as the war started kicking into gear.
Oh,
As in deaths or just resigning?
is that because the group's primary objective had been fulfilled?
Basically, yeah.
Okay, so not by death. That's good to know, at least.
We all came from different backgrounds, but the one thing we had in common was that we hated that bastard's guts. So after he'd kicked it, most of the guys didn't really have any reason for sticking around. Can't say I blame them for calling it quits.
Crow said that seeing this war through to its end was the last part of his game. Are the members who haven't left sticking around for similar reasons?
Interesting question. Can't speak for the others, but me, I don't really care how this war goes.
Ah, delightful.
I mean, I'm a former Jaeger who can hold his own in a fight. I've always lived for war.
Yeah, this is true.
And teaching those dumbasses in the provincial armies how to pilot soldats is a job worth doing, even if it's a pain.
And full of complete and utter morons.
If we disband, I'll find myself something else to do.
I see. I can't defend the assassination of the Chancellor or what you did near Trista, but I'd be happy if you chose to disband at least.
You're a funny kid,
Yeah, isn't he?
being oddly nice to us after all the shit we caused, don't you think?
That's one way of putting
The
it.
cycle of hatred's gone on for long enough. The crimes you've committed will never vanish, but no one wants this war to go on longer than it has to. It's not as though you guys want war, do you?
Well, there are the people who profit off of it, so technically, yes, they would want the war to keep going.
That's enough of the niceties. You've got time to worry about us. Use it to worry about yourself. Whether you choose to side with the Alliance or go against them, you've got a tough road ahead, whether you like it or not. Make sure to think long and hard before you decide. And if we end up as enemies again, show me what you got.
I thought you were gonna say shimmy your moves. It's gonna say, okay, Captain Falcon.
On the battlefield, I mean.
Excuse me.
Falcon, why do you have two beds?
Think I might have been too harsh on the kid.
No, not really. This is war. You can't necessarily play nice.
Still. Yeah. He's probably perfect for the job.
Huh? What job? What job are you talking about? I actually don't remember. What job is he talking about? Okay, Vulcan, you have officially alarmed me just a smidge.
He saw right through me. He's not wrong, though. I should be worrying about myself right now.
Taking advice from a terrorist now, are
He
we?
seemed kind of different, though. Like he'd lost his spark. His sole objective in life seemed to be to get revenge for his old Jaeger Corps killed by Osborn. Maybe he's just not sure what to do with himself now that he's done just that?
Why do I have the distinct impression it's much more worse than that? I actually don't even remember what happens to him. I don't even remember what happens to Scarlet. I know what happens to Crow,
I can
but
sense someone inside.
not Scarlet or Vulcan.
Judging by the fact that V is in the next room.
Must be S. Scarlet!
Come on in if you like.
Hi, Scarlet.
Excuse me.
Hi, Scarlet.
Hello there, love. I'd heard you came on board yesterday, so I did wonder whether we would run into one another at some point.
Hello, Scarlet. Last time we spoke was a month and a half ago near Trista, I think.
Quite a memorable day for both of us, wasn't it? There's no need to stand over there. Come and have a seat. I'll pour us some tea.
You really don't have to. Well, I guess there's no harm in chatting for a bit.
I was about to say, I don't think she's taking no as an answer, Rean.
These tea leaves really are wonderful, aren't they? Only the best for the airship of Erebonia's most powerful noble, I suppose.
I have to admit, the fragrance is like no tea I've ever had before. You're right, though. It makes sense if it's something Duke Cayenne personally chose.
Oh? I was under the impression that your family is a part of the nobility, too.
Well, yes and no.
Your father is a baron, isn't he?
He might be a noble, but generally barons aren't all that wealthy. We live a relatively modest lifestyle.
Oh, really? I wouldn't have thought it before, but maybe my family was actually more well off than yours.
And Scarlet, I heard she lost her old hometown when he went and built a railway through it.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
What kind of family did you come from, then?
Oh, they weren't nobles, if that's what you're wondering.
A bunch of farmhands?
They were just relatively wealthy farmers.
I was actually kidding. Though the fact I even suggested that must have implied that I do have some recollection of this.
We were almost local celebrities in a way.
Oh, I see.
You're wondering how someone like me became a terrorist? It's written all over your face.
Yeah, he is as hidden as a well-written book.
Well, I can't deny that I'm curious. I heard that you lost your hometown because Osborn built a railway through it.
Oh, did C tell you? No, I suppose it must have been V. He never was one to keep quiet about things.
So, I mean, what happened?
Some things are best left unsaid, I think. It's not as if knowing would somehow allow you to change things.
I suppose.
You're so adorable, Rean. Now I know why C took a liking to you. What do you say? How about you come and fight with me and the other big girls and boys? It'll be fun, I promise.
Hey, I can handle myself just fine, thank you very much, Scarlet.
Please stop teasing me. Anyway, thank you for the tea. It wasn't just made with high-quality leaves. It was brewed exceptionally, too.
You're very welcome.
Oh, actually, I may as well ask while I have the chance. Where did you learn how to use that weapon of yours anyway? It's pretty unique.
Oh, that? I suppose it can't hurt to tell you. The holy city of Arteria.
The Arteria? Where the high seat of the Septian Church is?
That's the one. It's called a Templar sword, and it's a traditional weapon in the church. A few years ago, I was studying to be a sister and was trained in how to use it there.
Why do sisters have the need to know how to fight?
Surely you must be talking about some other church, right? You're telling me there are sisters in the Septian Church who use weapons like that?
There are more things in this world you don't know than you could possibly imagine. Well, it doesn't matter much now. I ended up returning to Erebonia before my training was complete.
Oh?
Anyway, that's all I'm telling you for now. I'll give you the full story if you decide to join us. And if you choose not to join, well, that way has its own charms, I suppose.
Interesting.
She ended up being a lot friendlier than I expected her to be. I wonder how much of what she was saying about being a sister was true. She seemed to really hate the Chancellor.
Gee, I can't imagine why. Her entire hometown is gone because of him. I mean, out of everyone, not that I'm saying that Crow's reason to hate this guy is weak, but out of everyone, she has a legitimately good reason to hate this guy. I mean, you could argue that for both V and C, but I mean, out of all of them, C and S are probably the only two that I actually kind of feel bad for. And I don't necessarily feel bad for V because, technically speaking, that's the lifestyle he chose. He chose to be a part of something like that. And that kind of lifestyle, unfortunately, heralds many deaths, among other things. So, technically speaking, yes, what happened to his corpse was horrible. However, that is a lifestyle all of them chose. Whereas Crow and Scarlet, they didn't have an opportunity. Crow's grandfather was basically bullied into illness, which eventually killed him. And Scarlet even had less of a chance because he built a freaking railroad through her town and thought, here, have some money. That will fix all of your problems. So, technically, I still think out of all of them, Scarlet and Crow have real, legitimately good reasons to hate the counselor, or chancellor, whatever.
I wonder what she intends to do now that he's gone.